Yep, Shalom. This is a continuation. So we are the light of the world. All right. All right. So now let's jump down to verse 16. It says, let your light so shine before men that they may see your good works and glorify your Father which is in heaven. All right. So we have to let our light shine, man. And how do we let our light shine? By teaching His word, keeping keeping the Lord's commandments. All right. Prophesying against this place, prophesying against wickedness. All right. You know, and many men have different talents. All right. Many men have different talents that's in the faith. So whatever talent the Lord gave you, all right, or preserved unto you, all right, you let it shine. So if you a brother that's into the history, if you a brother that's into health, herbs, or a brother that's very charitable, brother that's into the law, let your light shine. All right, go into this wisdom ultimately. All right. So I'm gonna continue on with the covenant of salt. Let me see what else I had. All right. Right here. So I want to go into, it says the covenant of salt. All right. So it says a special agreement. The phrase covenant of salt, Numbers 18:19, 2 Chronicles 13:5. All right. Leviticus 2:13 occurs only 3 times in the Bible. A covenant is an agreement between 2 or more parties. An agreement that involves salt symbolizes one that is meant to be perpetual, which perpetual means everlasting, not corruptible or indissoluble. All right. The most well-known reference to a covenant of salt is in relationship to God's promise to King David to make him a perpetual throne. All right. In 2 Samuel 7, 11 through 16, that phrase itself was used at the start of King Abijah's taunts hurled at Israel's King Jeroboam for his hubris in planning war against the kingdom of Judah. So it says, why salt? Sodium has certain properties and beliefs surrounding its use that uses Salakia. So it says sodium has certain properties and beliefs surrounding its use that easily lends itself to certain symbolisms in the Bible. It says from the time of Adam, the most common way the average person could preserve the edibility of food, especially meat, was through salt. Its ability to maintain the integrity of food and retard spoilages was well known. So, also keeping the integrity. That's the spirit. We are the salt of the earth. It's to preserve us, but also to keep the integrity of what? The Lord. Because many men, fell out this truth. They lost that salt. So it says, this is likely the reason why the Most High, in underscoring his enduring promises, is to always take care of or preserve the priestly tribe of Levi, labeled it as a permanent covenant of salt. It says salt in the Near East was an expensive commodity that was considered indestructible in fire, like I just mentioned earlier. When you cook meat in salt, the salt doesn't burn through. It endures through the fire. Also symbolizing the Lord. The elect is going to endure through the fire. Of the sufferings that we're going to face. The trials and tribulations that we're going to face because, in this faith, we're going to suffer because Yahweh Shah suffered. Okay? And that's another lesson too. I'm going to do another lesson through the Spirit going into how kings, are made to suffer. So it says, under ancient Israel's sacrificial system, it was a crucial element in offerings made to the Lord. In its inclusion was mandatory for all offerings, and brings out the scriptures. No doubt symbolizing the eternal and indestructible covenant the Most High made with his people. Now, when you go into the word covenant, real quick before I wrap it up. So covenant, it means a mutual compact to do or not to do something, a contract, an agreement, a promise. So the Lord made that contract with Israel, all right? That covenant of salt was that contract that the Lord was never going to break his promise, all right, against Israel, because the Lord promised us that we was going to be his people forever, all right? And we're going to be, we're going to have that kingship in the kingdom of heaven, all right, ruling over the heathen nations, and we're going to be joint heirs with Yahweh Shah, Mashiach, okay? And the Lord is a man who doesn't break his promise, okay? With that salt, symbolizing, the Lord is going to preserve us, all right? And the Lord is going to keep his integrity, all right? As well as the elect, the elect is going to keep their integrity towards the Lord and not, ultimately bow down and worship Baal and worship this new world order that's soon going to come, okay? As well as is representing the sufferings that the elect is going to go through in endurance, all right? But with that, Lord willing knows is edifying. I want to give all praises and honor and glory to Yahweh Shem Yahushua. And with that, Shalom.